What's up, legendary marketer family? Coach Larry Beecham here. Coach Larry hosting tonight's webinar. Thank you for being here. I am excited about tonight. I have an incredible guest that has joined us. As a matter of fact, it's been a while since we had a guest on to do training, but you can expect that it's going to be more of the same going forward. So if you are brand new to the webinar or to Legendary Marketer, I want to thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful for you showing up. We do this every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, so make sure that you mark your calendar for 9 p.m. Eastern. Every Monday night, we do a live training, no cost to anyone. It's free to the public. Make sure that you mark your calendars to do that. If you are new to Legendary Marketer as a member, welcome to Legendary Marketer. Glad to have you. Here's what you want to do next, though. Make sure that you log into your back office and you book a game plan call with your coach. That is the first step to making money at Legendary Marketer. Now, when you log into your back office for the first time, on the home page, there's a welcome video from David. Watch the video. It's about 2 minutes long, and he gives you instructions on what to do next. Basically what I just said, but watch the video anyway because there's other stuff that he covers in there. All right. So make sure you do that. Also, every day at 10 a.m. Eastern, we do what we call Wake Up Legendary. Okay. Wake Up Legendary call happens Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for 15 minutes. Except on Fridays, we do a free coaching Friday call where we unmute the lines and let you come live to the line and ask your key questions to help you develop a stronger and more profitable business. So make sure you log that in. What else we got going on? David's book. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I have it handy, but it's called Legendary Marketer. If I got it handy here. I do not have it handy. Sorry about that. But anyway, David's book, Legendary Marketer. Give that book away for free if you're a member of Legendary Marketer. All you got to do is log into your back office, and you can either give away a physical copy, an ebook, or even an audio book. It's a great way to offer value to the marketplace, generate leads, and create more customers. And finally, which we'll talk more about at the end, is our once per year event, the Sales and Marketing Experience. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible credential behind that event, and that is Entrepreneur Magazine rated this event top 10 can't miss events for 2018 for entrepreneurs, not just legendary marketer members, entrepreneurs. So if you are an entrepreneur watching me, well, I think you should probably consider what Entrepreneur Magazine says about this event. It's once a year, happens this year on February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, right here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm so excited. I'm stumbling over my own words, Mark. St. Petersburg, Florida, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We'll talk more about that later on in the call and how you can get access to that. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and give my man Mark as much time as he possibly can have. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've invited tonight a special guest who I've been knowing for years. As a matter of fact, about 4 or 5 years ago, Mark and I worked together on an event that I hosted online. I had 10 speakers lined up, and him and his business partner at that time were the go-to guys for YouTube marketing. And Mark still has that strength in terms of YouTube marketing and content marketing. But tonight it's all about Facebook Messenger. Now, here's a question. How many of you have one of these? Right? And how many of you go over to this little app right here? How many of you go to that app? How many of you do like this? You click on that app and you pull up that. All right, that's Facebook Messenger, is it not? Now, here's the question though. When Facebook Messenger dings on your phone, do you answer it? I'm sure you do. Well, on the consumer side of the world or just as a regular Joe, that's just how it's done. But for us as marketers, that's gold. It's gold if you know how to use Facebook Messenger to market, promote your business, your value, your authority, whatever you want to do. But here's the deal. Most of us have no earthly idea how to make that work for us. It's working on us, depending on who you're connected to, but you may not know how to use Facebook Messenger to generate business. But here's what I do know. Here's what Mark is going to really impress upon you. Number one, what is the one thing that we all want more of when it comes to our content? And that is people to see it, right? So when you have an open rate of 90+% on every message that you send out, that's pretty strong. But better than that, not just getting people to open and see your message, but to get upwards of a 40% click-through rate. For those of you that are new to the world of marketing, click-through equals next step to making money. All right. So when they click on your link, that's a click through. They're headed down the path you want them to become a customer. And the click-through rates in that range are pretty epic, especially if you're not spending a boatload of cash to get it. Tonight, I've invited Mark Harbert, expert Facebook Messenger trainer, to come on to our call. He is also a member of Legendary Marketer. Glad to have Mark on board, but he was nice enough to come tonight and give you something that others would pay a top dollar for, a pretty penny to get. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce all of you for the first time, and maybe some others again, to my good buddy, expert marketer, legendary marketer, Mark Harbert. Mark, what's up, bro?
Hey, Larry. Thanks for having me out, man. I'm pumped to be here. This is
you're pumped to be here. You think you're pumped to be here? No,
yeah.
You're not pumped as I am.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I love what you guys are doing here. I'm excited to be a part of it. So
awesome stuff, man. Well, let's just start with the basics, man. Let everybody know who Mark Harbert is, just from the ground up, man. You know, how did you get started? You know, just give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, it's really a common story. I mean, you know, this is probably back in about around 2008. You know, to make a long story short, I was in a network marketing company, and I came up against the same problem pretty much everybody has. And that's, I didn't have enough people to talk to, and I needed leads, and I didn't want to buy them because I hated buying them. I didn't like buying opportunity leads. And I started to learn how to generate my own. It took me down a path. You and I were a part of the same affiliate program for a while. And that's where we kind of got to know each other a bit. And, you know, ever since, I've just been hooked on online marketing. Lead generation is something I was determined to master. And, you know, for me now, lead generation is pretty simple. I mean, you know, it's not a tough thing. And I've just, you know, over the years, I've learned all the fundamentals, and the fundamentals transfer from one strategy to the next, no matter what it is. And Facebook Messenger right now is just so hot that, you know, that's kind of where I'm at and putting a lot of focus on at the moment.
Excellent. Excellent, Mark. Excellent. Excellent. So let's just have a high level conversation. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Mark's going to do some demo type stuff for you. I think you'll be excited about that. So you do not want to be distracted right now by anything. No TV, no cell phone, no kids. Actually, I told my family I'm doing the webinar. Hopefully one of my 6 kids will not say or do something that's going to be caught in the microphone. You never know. But anyway, Mark, let's just have a high level conversation about just marketing and then move into more about the Facebook Messenger and go from there. So first of all, you've been doing this about as long as I have, if not longer. And, you know, the changes that have taken place in marketing, what do you see as some of the current challenges that marketers face when it comes to generating leads, converting business, and making money when it comes to, you know, marketing strategies?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, you know, believe it or not, one of the challenges people still face is lead generation. I mean, I think if you can master lead generation and get the basics down, the basics are the most important, because like I just said, those transfer over to pretty much every strategy, whether you're doing YouTube marketing or Facebook marketing or messenger marketing or solo ads. The basics are the same. And, but the key is to be able to shift those to different strategies. But really the biggest thing is that I think people need to understand is it's also not about just getting leads. There's really 2 aspects to the whole thing. Get the lead, learn how to communicate to the lead. If you can do those things, you're really going to master this game. And it's not that difficult to do. Really, I think the biggest thing you need to do is just be real. Just be real. Don't try to be Mr. Sales Guy. Try and find out what people really need, what they want, and help them help them get there. That's the key. And that's what I do every single day when I create a blog post, a video, or any type of ad I put out there. It's how can I meet the need of my customer? And that's my first and foremost focus on everything that I do. What can I do that's going to help them get closer to their goal? Because in the end, they don't care about me. Nobody cares about you. We all speak the same language. It's what's in it for me. And everybody speaks that language. So you got to think they don't care that you want to make a sale. They care where they're going. So you got to help them get where they want to go. And I think there's kind of a disconnect sometimes between us marketers, because we're so focused on the sale, want to make a commission. I want to make a commission. But you got to remember, you got to help that person get where they want to go. That's the whole basis of everything you do. So that's what we have to focus on. And that's what I focus on.
Excellent. So let's deep dive a little bit into, as you said, helping people get to where they want to go. And we call that giving value. So Mark, in your own words, what exactly is giving value? Because we're all on social media and we see people spamming in inboxes, spamming in groups. And this is the amateur marketer's way of trying to get the word out. So how would you explain to a new person who might be watching you your definition or your approach to giving value?
Yeah. So first you have to know who it is you're speaking to. So you got to know your target market. Who is it you're speaking to? It's plain and simple. If you're speaking to somebody who's actively looking for an opportunity, there's a certain way you're going to speak to that person. If you're working with people or targeting people that are already involved in some type of opportunity that is looking for help, they're looking for, a solution to their problem. Well, you want to be able to talk to that individual. See, messaging is very important in terms of you have to know who you're talking to. Like, I know that if I'm talking to Larry Beacham, there's certain needs, goals, and desires that Larry Beacham has, and I need to know, how to speak to that. And so what you do is I create content on a regular basis. We're going to talk about Messenger tonight, but one of the things that I do, I still create content. I create blog posts and videos. And what that does is now I have a Messenger list where I can send that message to with my content, and it gets people familiar with who I am. And then when I've got something to promote, it's a lot easier because they're familiar with me. They know, like, and trust me. So giving value is creating content that answers your market's most pressing questions. That's giving value, in its simplest form.
Okay. So that being said, Mark, can you give an example? Just again, I know I'm going very, as David would call, very granular, going on the granular level, but I want to make sure that everybody grasps this. So let's just say that, let's pick a business. It doesn't have to be a digital business. Somebody on here could actually have an offline business or whatever. They have a lawnmower, or maybe they have a peel or something along those lines. So if there's a way that we can kind of give a real tangible example to what it means to give value, is there a way that we can kind of maybe play off that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, all right. So like for me, I work with marketers. Let me just give you an example for me, and then we'll translate that to something else. So for me, I work with marketers. So my goal is, I know the number one thing that marketers are looking for is they're looking for more traffic, they're looking for more leads, and they want to convert into more sales. So my content is focused on giving tips, tricks, and strategies based upon what I know they're looking for. Okay, so the same thing would apply if, let's say, you're promoting some type of health and wellness business. So, maybe you create some piece of content that gives them a couple tips on how to lose that last 5 pounds. Okay. So your content basically just says, hey, here's this tip, here's this tip, here's this tip. And oh, by the way, if you want to get 7 more tips, go ahead and enter in your email, information or something to that effect. And then you can give them additional tips. But people, when they find value in what you're giving them, it's kind of a reciprocity thing. Content builds a reciprocity. You're giving value to them, and in turn, they're going to want to find out more, and that's really the essence of it. So, but when you break it down, it's really giving them what they want. If I know my market wants a specific thing, I'm going to create content that gives that to them. If they want to know how to create leads with YouTube, I may create a really cool piece of content that shows them one trick or strategy on how to get leads on YouTube. You see? It's really that simple.
Yeah, so it is. And it's basically understanding pain, really. At the end of the, now we think pain in terms of ouch pain, but really at the end of the day, it's about every business owner has pain. If your target market is a pastor for a church, well, we have to ask ourselves, where is a pastor having pain? Number one place I would think is congregants in the seat, getting more people to come to the actual church. Another one could be bigger offerings. Right? If we transition over to the auto body shop, what's the auto body shop's pain? Right? Could be they need more oil changes. They may need whatever the case might be. So we have to say, now that we understand the pain, the next step is, how do we give them bits of training or value, knowledge? It could be advice. It can be tips. It can be live demos, illustrations, explanations, do's and don'ts. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Things to avoid, things to get to. Like I saw a headline which I loved. It was I think a juicing kind of a email headline. It said the 7 veggies you should never juice.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful headline. 7 veggies that you should never juice. That's the exact headline. And I remember it because it was so powerful, because we have a juicer downstairs, amongst other things. And that's a very powerful thing. So I think it went on to say, after it said, here's the 7 you shouldn't juice, it went on to talk about maybe the other 10 or whatever. I don't know. I didn't go that far. But that's what we're talking about, is speak to your marketplace in a way that makes them better, stronger, faster, smarter, thinner, happier, whatever the case might be. And the idea of what I like to call continuing the conversation is, as Mark said, leading them to a piece of content that's going to get them closer. So let's connect Facebook Messenger to that whole process. So let me say it this way. How is Facebook Messenger superior to other methods that people are using for lead generation, specifically like email, specifically like YouTube videos or whatever? Help us understand how it's superior in some ways, or what's comparable that makes it superior in our efforts to generate leads.
Right. So here's how I look at it. One of the key points I believe to being successful online is what I call multi-touch marketing. So if my prospect, I want to be in their email inbox, I want them to see me on Facebook, I want them to see me on YouTube, I want to be in their Messenger inbox, I want them to see maybe ads of me elsewhere. I constantly want to be in front of them in many different ways. So the way I look at it is Facebook Messenger is another channel for me to have a touch point with my prospect. So just like email and Messenger, while they're both different and they're similar in some ways, they both serve a purpose. Like I look at email marketing, it's like the radio. Okay. It's never going away. The radio has been around for what, over 100 years now. And, it's been around, and it's still a radio in every single brand new car. Why? Because the radio is still effective. People listen to the radio. People are always going to have an email address, and they're always going to need it. So email is never going away. You never want to stop building an email list. Messenger, although the open rates are huge and the click-through rates are huge, the truth of the matter is you still don't technically, at least at this point, own your Messenger list. So my goal is still, even with Messenger, is to look at it as a communication channel, but I still want to get them on my email list. That's still my goal. I want them there because I own that, and I can take that with me wherever I go. So now Messenger, on the other hand, being a communication channel, I continue to use that similar to an email list to keep in touch with them. I send a minimum of at least 1 message a week. And you want to treat it a little different, and I'll talk about that here when we get into it. But there's plus and minuses for each channel, and I think I just look at this as another way to stay in front of your prospect. That's how I look at it.
Interesting point about multi-touch marketing, because when we think about major brands in the marketplace, you pick the brand and they're basically in every touch point that you can think. I mean, literally, if I think Coca-Cola, there isn't a type of marketing that Coca-Cola does not show up in, for all the reasons you just described. You want to be in front of your market as often as possible. Exactly. And I can guarantee you they're using social media and software and tools like what we're talking about tonight. Yep. Continuing with the conversation about Messenger as a touch point, what are some basic pitfalls that people are running into who are somewhat familiar with Facebook Messenger? Where do you see people being challenged, even with as powerful as a tool this is? Where do you see people being challenged?
Okay, so very important. This is a very important point. Messenger is not email. Messenger is not email. Very important. And with email, we'll write an email and we send it out. People are they're used to getting a big kind of long message sometimes. And it's kind of normal for people to get emails. They understand that. Facebook Messenger, there's a conversational aspect to it. Okay. So what happens is when you send out a message, you're going to elicit responses many times. People will message you back. And sure, like you'll get an email from people. Maybe they reply back and write you back on an email and you'll reply back, the same kind of principle. But Facebook's just a little different. You don't want to send big, long messages in Messenger. It's not going to get read. You want to keep it short, quick, to the point, ask a question. And there's many things you can do. Plus, with Messenger, it's Messenger bots is really what it is. You can set up automated responses. Like you could ask a question, they can answer yes or no. And then based upon their response, you can have another automated message go to them. So what happens is you actually can have a Facebook Messenger bot, which is an automated program, actually reply and have a conversation back and forth and lead people down a path. So what you have really is unlimited possibilities with Facebook Messenger, because there's just so many avenues that you can do to lead people down that path. But the way I use it is a little bit different, because we're in I look at our business as very relationship oriented. So for me, I'm very personal. I don't use a lot of the automated responses. I just like to get in there sometimes and hit the messenger and have chats for an hour or two, connect with my audience. And I think that's why my audience is so responsive, because I am like that.
Okay, so to be clear, Mark, there is two options that a person has in terms of how they interact with their audience. Mm-hmm. It could be literally human to human connection,
yep,
or it could be human to human / automated connection, or human to automated connection. Am I hitting that right?
Yep.
Okay. So I guess there's pros and cons to each approach, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you see the pros and cons of human to human versus human to strictly bots?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, if you're having a conversation with people in Messenger, that's going to be a lot better than them communicating with a bot. There's going to be a lot, you're going to be able to answer better. You're going to be able to have the potential to build relationships better too. But there's also a purpose, like if you want to lead people down certain paths. And one of the things that you have is in the tool that I use, which is called ManyChat. Okay. It's like an Aweber or a send lane for Facebook Messenger. That's basically what it is. And what happens is when people go into Messenger on your Facebook page, okay, if they're on their phone, there's a little what you'll find is there is a little like menu, a main menu, and you can set up certain things on this menu where it can be links to a website. It's almost like a menu for a blog, so to speak, or something to that effect. Like here, I'll show you real quick. I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is me testing on my page.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, if you look down here, these are little menu options. One says want more leads. Can you see that? Yeah.
Yep, we got it.
Yeah, and so what happens is you click that and it takes it off to my website. See, so it opens up a website. There you go. And so you've got that, and then you've also got I have my own products and my own support desk and everything. So I have a lot of my customers that go to my support as well. Point being is you can set up this menu to go to whatever you want. And what happens is when people go to check their messages, they will passively click these buttons. So what happens is you can set up bots on this menu, which walk people down a path, and you can lead them straight to a funnel. You can lead them to a webinar, lead them to whatever you want, really. And but it's passive in nature. So people click on it out of pure curiosity, and it leads them down a path. So it's really cool. I mean, I get tons of traffic just from that. So
excellent. Let's back up a second and talk about the traffic piece, because I know the number one question people are going to say is, if I'm starting from scratch with this, I have 0 people that I am marketing to through Messenger. What's the first step to building a Messenger list that I can send messages to?
Yeah. First and foremost, what I always suggest, and mainly what I use ManyChat for, is what Messenger for is I am focused on getting my warm list in there. Okay. So existing email subscribers, that's where I would focus the most. If you have an existing list, it doesn't matter if it's 100, 200, 300 people. It doesn't matter if it's 20 people. Get those people on there, because now what you've done is you've increased the odds that they're going to get your messages. Email open rates on email are, they are what they are. But Messenger tends to be way higher than email, So your goal is to get as many of your existing people into that as possible. And that's my main use for it. Because I want my core group, my core audience to be really hot. I want to be, in communication with them on a regular basis. So that's how I use it. So that would be the first and primary way. And then you can use it in many other ways. When you create a YouTube video, they give you can put a link in there where it can link off to your messenger, in your description. That's another way. I know a lot of people like to do solo ads. Heck, do a solo ad straight into your messenger. Start asking people questions right away. There's some really cool creative things that you could do to drive traffic into your messenger.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Mark. Well, guess what, man? We're at about halfway through the training tonight. And I know you said you had a demonstration of something you wanted to share that directly relates to what we're talking about. So I'm going to let you transition over into that.
All right.
And then I think we're going to wrap up once you get done. So we got about 20, 25 minutes of that, and then we'll wrap up.
All right, cool. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. And we'll just go into it. If you need anything, just let me know. Just interject. So let me share my screen here. All right. All right. You see my screen there?
Let me see here. I see myself.
Yep. That's probably it. All right.
Now I see your screen.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to open up a separate window here. I just want to show you basically the tool that I use for Messenger. It's called ManyChat. Okay. And basically you can set it up for free. They have a free account now. Just so you know, they do put a little branded message in every message you send, but you can start out for free, get used to it. But this is the tool that I use, and essentially it's like an autoresponder for Messenger. Okay, so you can go there, you can set up your account, and you can do all that good stuff. So once you get it set up, you basically can go in here. As you can see on my Messenger, I have 1,604 subscribers at the moment. So basically what happens is I'm going to give you a quick little tour of this here and how it works. And then I'm actually going to demo it for you. I'm going to send out a message to my 1,600 people, and I'm going to demo this and show you just how powerful this is. So I'm probably going to be getting tons of messages back, but that's all right. I'll answer most of them tomorrow. All right. So what we do here is, so once you're in here, this is obviously your dashboard. This is kind of all my subscribers. All right. It shows you all of them. I can sit here and just go. Okay. And these are all the people that I can send a message to, on Facebook Messenger. And what's cool is inside of this, it also gives you a live chat feature. Cause I know some of you guys are probably thinking, well, what happens when people reply? What happens if I build a list of, 5,000, 10,000 people? How am I going to reply to all those people? Well, I can tell you this, it's going to be hard. There's no question about it, because I'm at 1,600 and I can barely keep up with it sometimes. So what happens is you're going to find is that with their internal chat feature, it locks into your Facebook Messenger. But what happens is you, like for instance, Connie here, let me just show you. I sent out a blog post earlier today and she just replied, "Thank you." And I can just write her back and say, "No problem." Okay. And then what this does is it helps sort out all the responses. So I click done and it removes it from my list. So anybody who replies will immediately be added to this live chat, and it allows you to filter out all of the people who reply as opposed to the hundreds or even thousands of messages that you send, because it's impossible. And I'll show you here in just a moment when I do it. Okay. But this is the live chat. So really, really valuable thing. Now, what is, this is the one where this is how you build your list. And this is what we call the growth tools. Okay. And I'm just trying to give you a really quick overview of this, guys, and then I'm going to demo it for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So the growth tools here are basically how you build your list. And I'm going to go ahead and click new growth tool. And these are all the things that you can do. So let me just zoom in here for you so you can see it. But if you have a bar or excuse me, a blog or a website, you can add a bar on the top of it. Okay. With a subscribe button, you've got to slide in. And if you just look, I can take a look at each one of these. So if I click that, you can see this pops up here. You can put that on your website. And then let me go back here. Oops. And then we have the slide in. All right. That's the slide in. So you can put that on your blog. We have what's called a modal, which is almost like it's like a pop-up, that just pops up in the middle of your site there. We also have the page takeover. So it'll take over your entire page, whatever page they're looking at on your blog or your website. And then we also have a button. You can embed a button anywhere you want on any page. For instance, I use this a lot when I do webinars. So when I want to send out a reminder for my webinar, I put this button on the thank you page and they can click it. It subscribes them. And then I can send a message 30 minutes prior, just reminding them that the webinar's coming up. So that's what I use this one a lot for. And then you have, of course, we have another box here. And then you have, let's see, you also have a landing page. And the landing page is basically, it gives you a link and you can send people directly to that link, just like a capture page. And that'll subscribe people. It's super cool. So let's go back here to the growth tools. And we have a couple more here that I want to show you. You have the landing page, which we just showed you. And then you have a referral URL. So this is a link that you can create that drives people directly into Messenger. So for instance, let me just go back here real quick. If you look right up here, this gives me a link to my Messenger. So I can click that and that link will take me directly into Messenger. See, just like that. Now I can take that link and turn it into a growth tool. All right, right here in the referral URL, and I can send that out to an email list and drive people directly into Facebook Messenger, and I can start conversations with people. And you can set up automated responses. So as soon as they click on that link, it'll automatically send them a message into Messenger and start to engage them and start the engagement process. So you think about this. Let's say you have a list of 500 people, an email list. You create a Messenger referral URL, all right, that URL right here, and you can email that out. Like for instance, maybe you want to give them some incentive to come over and connect with you on Messenger on your email list. And you can say, come on over. I've got a free gift for you and hit me up in Messenger. And you send it over. You can set up the automated response when you click on this, and you can then set up your messages right in here. You see, and it even gives you a preview of what it's going to look like. And what's cool is in Messenger, and guys, I know I'm going very fast here, but we've got limited time, so I want to get through as much as I can. You can send all different kinds of messages to people. You can send a text. Look at all these little deals here. You can send a text, an image, a card, which is like it's a clickable link or a clickable picture, actually. You've got a gallery, so you can put multiple in there. So if you have products that people want to take a look at, they can scroll through those products inside of Messenger. You can create a list. You can send an audio file. Check this out. Let's say you have an audio training. You want to send that audio training to them. You can send the file to them, and it will play the audio right in Messenger for them. You can do a video. I love doing video. I send video on a regular basis out to my Messenger. It's a video right inside of Messenger. They play it inside of Messenger. So that's really cool. You can send them a file. And then this is a really cool feature. I'm not going to get huge into it, but this is called user input. And you can actually subscribe people to your email list right inside of Facebook Messenger. So watch this. Let me just show you this. When you add this, I can ask a question and say, hey, and I can insert their name here like this. Okay. And the fallback just means if they can't pull their name, you just want to put in there, I put friend. Okay. So let's say, hey, Tom, what is your email address? I want to send you a free gift. So what'll happen is when they see this free keyboard input, okay, I can set this as a text reply, and I want to save it to what's called a custom field. And you can create what are called custom fields. And look at this. I have a custom field called the email field. So what's going to happen is once they reply to me, whatever their reply is will go into that custom field. So check this out. you can set an action, and there's a program out there. I might be getting a little too techie for some of you, but there's a program called Zapier, okay? And this is a bridge program which will connect Facebook Messenger, ManyChat with your email list. Now, I know in Legendary Marketer using SendLane, you can connect SendLane directly with Facebook Messenger through ManyChat. So as soon as they enter their email right here, this program pulls that email and puts it onto your SendLane list, okay? Automatically. It does it automatically. So it not only inputs it into ManyChat, but it takes it and puts it on your email list. Really, really cool way to do it. So there's so much you can do with this. All right. Now, once you do this message, then you can publish it. You can send it out depending upon what you're doing. Of course, this is our referral URL that we were setting up with the growth tools. But I think you can see here that the growth tools, there's all kinds of different things you can do. Now, the one that is most used inside of ManyChat is the Facebook comments growth tool. Now, I can't really see your hands here. I can't see who does this, but I would venture to say that many of you watching here will probably go post something on social media, and you've probably seen people do this where they say, if you want more information on my such and such widget, comment below and I'll send you a message. All right. Now, I've watched people do this and they literally get hundreds of responses. Okay. 200 responses. And then what happens is they actually go through each response in the comments and manually send a message to each person that responded. Now, I don't know about you. I've done that before and it's very time consuming. Well, what this does is it automates it for you. So in other words, people can comment and then you can set up the automated message where as soon as they comment, it'll automatically send the message for you and handle all that work on the back end. This one right here is the most widely used inside of ManyChat, no doubt about it. And it can help build your Messenger subscriber list at the same time. So really, really powerful. Definitely, basically what happens is you can choose any post. So I'm going to click on it and you can see it. It tells you to select a post and it'll pull up all the posts that I've put on my Facebook fan page. And today I just did a new blog post. So let's say I'll select this one. And if I let them know that on, here I just put new blog post, I could say, if you want, if you want access to my, I have a thing called 14 conversation starters. If you want access to my 14 conversation starters, just comment below and I'll send it to you. And that starts comments. And then what happens is that reply goes out automatically based upon your auto response right here. Okay. So this is so powerful, guys. Like this is a really, really big time saver and it builds your messenger list at the same time. All right. So let's go back here real quick. And then you have the customer chat where you can actually add a little comment bubble on your blog if you have a blog, and people can actually enter into Messenger right on your website and you can start the conversation doing that. So really, really cool. And then of course you have what are called JSON ads. And basically what this is you set this up similar to how you set the rest of these up. And as soon as they click on your Facebook ad, okay, it'll automatically send a message to them that you predetermine in Messenger. So if they click it, then you can have a message sent to them automatically. In other words, all they have to do to initiate the engagement is click on the ad and it starts the conversation. So for those of you guys that are doing Facebook ads, this is a really cool one that you can use. And then of course you have your Messenger code, which is like a snap code through Snapchat. Well, Facebook has theirs too. If people just scan this code, you can put it on your business card if you want, whatever you want to do. People scan it and it automatically takes them into Messenger and initiates a sequence, So really, really cool. I want to just go over these real quick with you. Now what's awesome, let me just show you here, is the automation tab. And under automation, basically what you can do is set up sequences. And what are sequences? It's basically autoresponders. Okay. So let me just show you here. So we're just going to call this test. You can set up right here. Look at this. You can set up as many autoresponder messages as you want. just the same way you would do on an email autoresponder, you can do the same here. And you can determine how in between you want. It's the same thing. It's just basically an autoresponder for Facebook Messenger. Really, really cool feature here. I use this on some of my funnels. It's awesome. It really handles the process, and you just have to go through and set it up, and it keeps track of all your stats for you too. So this is a really, really good one. Now, what I want to show you real quick, I'm going to do a demo on this. All right. And I'm going to show you just how awesome this really works. Now, this is the broadcast feature. This is where like you would go into your email list and you would send out an email broadcast where you message people, hey, go check this out, go to this capture page, register for this webinar, check out this blog post, whatever it is you're sending people to. This is where you do that. Now, I just want to show you this real quick. These are past broadcasts that I've sent out to, sections of my list. Sometimes it's to the whole list, but I find I get better results when I do segmentation. And if you don't know what segmentation is, it's basically I can send it out to portions of my list based upon certain actions that they've taken. So like, for instance, this message right here that I sent on January 1st, look at this. I sent it out to 1,422 people. 1,193 people opened the message. That's 85%. 340 people clicked on the link. That's a 24.5% click-through rate. So imagine if you have a list of 1,400 people and you can send an immediate 300 plus people to your website. Okay. Now I'm telling you, I've used this to promote some webinars that I've done. It's insane how fast the registrations start coming in when you hit it with Messenger, especially if it's something valuable that they're going to enjoy. Okay. So this one particular, this is another one, 90% open rate, 419 clicks. All right. And you'll see what you'll notice as you start to use this tool is you can see, look at this. Some of these 100% open rates. That's pretty insane. 94, 9400, 94. And you'll notice that when you first send a message, you're going to get probably anywhere between within the first 6 to 8 hours, you'll get 40 to 70% open rate. Okay. Typically. And then what happens is over the next week or two, it'll creep up and it'll eventually get to 90% where everybody sees that message. And you can see, I just sent one out today. I sent it out to 1,600 people. So far, 867 have read it. I just sent this out today at, what time is that? 3:53. Okay. So 6 hours ago, 77 people have clicked through on it. By the time this is done, it'll probably be somewhere around 200, 250 people. We'll see. It just depends. And sometimes it's based upon what's the content. Maybe there's, some different types of content will, garner more interest than others. I've created pieces of content and nobody's interested in it, and it's like, okay, well, that one was a dud, but then I've created some where it's like people flock to it, because it's hitting on something that they really want to know, you see? So, but these open rates you can see are really, really big deal. All right. Huge deal. So basically what I'm going to do here is we're going to go back over here to broadcast, and I'm going to send out a message to my 1,600 subscribers just to show you something. Now, what I'm going to do real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and go over to my page because I want to show you something on how this works when I send this out. Okay. I think this is going to flip you out when you see this. So I'm going to go to the inbox here and just show you this is my Messenger inbox on my fan page. Okay. So you see all of these messages. Now, when I send a message, I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to show you, you're going to see these messages just flickering like crazy because it's just messaging all these people. So watch. So let's go in here and I'm just going to send an easy question out. Okay. Let's do this. I'll answer them all mostly tomorrow. All right. So one of the things, reason I put this in here, let me just zoom in. This inserts their first name. And of course you can do first name, last name, full name, all these different types of things you can add in there. And what this means is right there, fallback is used when user data is inaccessible or too long to fit. So in other words, if they can't pull their first name, it'll insert friend instead of just a blank space. All right. So we're going to do, hey, Tom, I am working on a content plan and was just curious if you had any requests on training you'd like to see.
Let me just say that's a powerful question.
Yeah, this is going to be nuts, man. I'm going to get like a ton of questions. I don't know if I'm going to answer them all back, but we'll see. Had any request training you'd like to see? I am open to ideas. Now, what I like to do, I love putting emojis in here. Okay, you got to put those in here. So I like putting a little smiley face, a thumbs up. All right. So here we go. Hey, Tom, or hey, Larry, I'm working on a content plan. I was just curious if you had any requests on training you'd like to see. I'm open to ideas. Let me change this. I am all ears, my friend. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. Now, once we've done this, now, before I do that, actually, I want to show you something really, really cool that ManyChat just put in here about 2 months ago. And this is, where what we call here, see this little button here? It's called the Flow Builder. And basically what this is this is a mind map layout, okay? So what I can do is I can literally string all along based upon responses of people. Like if they click yes, if you put a button in there that says yes, you can have it send them an automated message. Well, this just lays it out in a mind map layout. So a really, really cool thing. You can go huge on this, but this is a really, really cool tool you'll want to play around with once you get in there. Okay, so here's our message. So we're going to go to next. Now, what I can do is I can preview it to myself, to make sure it works good. And I always do that. I always like to check that. This is it'll preview it on your personal profile. All right. So I just go in here and I check it out, and you can see right there that it sent it to myself. All right. So we know that works. So let's go back over here, and we're going to send this baby. So I'm not going to get huge into this. ManyChat has some training about what these ones are. I usually always send a subscription broadcast because very rarely, if ever, do I ever promote something directly. Okay. And there's, whole different ways we can talk about that. But just remember, Facebook Messenger is not email. Okay. Very, very important to remember. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to send this out to everybody, and you can also schedule them. So if you want to schedule it for another time, you can do that. But we're going to do this, start sending now. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm going to regret this or not, because I don't know if I'll be able to get back to everybody, but sending this out to 1,600 people. So let's go ahead and we're going to send this right now. All right. So there we go. Now let's go back over to my page and watch this. Look what's happening. It's sending it to all these people on my list. That's 1,600 people we talked about. Let me just click in on one of these. See? All right. So it's going out here. Sometimes it'll move. So it's sent it out to 354 people. And we'll just refresh it a little here. So 586 have gotten it. Whoops. You can see here it's still going out. Sometimes it hangs up on here a little bit, but you can see here. So 586, 897 people so far. And we'll probably start getting some responses here in just a second. So 29 people have read it so far. 39 people have read it. So 1,264 people sent, 47 have read it. See how fast people read this? I mean, Messenger is it's huge. Look, people are already responding here. So if I go over here, okay, see right there, I'm getting messages back. Look at this. Let me get back to you later. How to create a good content plan, how to set up a Facebook business page. Oh, so nice of you. I'm working on doing a video challenge myself. Some people saying I'll get back to you. So you're starting all these conversations, and look how fast they're starting to come in. See, and it sorts out all of them. Okay, so somebody's intermittent fasting. That's good. All right. People want to know how to build their YouTube subscribers and email list.
Hey,
Cold
Mark,
calling. Yeah, go ahead.
let me jump in here real quick
Yeah.
because what people, I'm getting into chills just looking at this because one of the things that people struggle with is what should I say or what should I do? And you're
Right.
literally getting people to drop nuggets of gold, cash, money into your inbox by simply asking an open-ended question. Because when we talk about pain, what Mark is seeing is everybody saying, "This is my pain. This is my pain. This is my pain. Can you solve my pain?" And as soon as Mark makes a decision to solve their pain, whether it's how to create a video on YouTube, how to do a content plan, some of these pain points that people reference, we're going to recognize as having a lot of people have that problem. So the most number of people that Mark can help, you can say, hey guys, I just created a video that teaches you how to do X. And they can go watch that video and then Mark can say, hey, if you want whatever the next call to action is, just hit me up on Messenger and I got a free resource that walks you through it. Right. So, I mean, I'm getting my word, man. I'm just bumbling with excitement to even see this potential because here's the deal: somebody could go into a Facebook group the correct way, offer some value, and then invite someone to connect to them on Messenger, and then now you have that list being built based upon relieving pain. Am I right, Mark?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you, one of the things that is really, really key on this is market research. I mean, think about this. This is like you said, you're literally asking them what's your pain, and they're telling me what their pains are. So I know that if I can assemble a list based upon these responses, which I'm going to do, I'm going to take all these. Remember, we were at 41. We've already got what, 35, 30 responses or so. And this is just the beginning. I mean, I'm probably going to have 150, 200 by this time this is end. We'll see. But if I could take all of this, I bet you I have my content laid out for the next 6 months to a year. Blog posts, videos, and you're basing it upon what people are telling you what they want. You see? So, I mean, this is just crazy, crazy awesome. So that's how it works. But you have to remember, it's like I said in the beginning, this is a conversational type thing. Now, as you get to the point where I'll be honest with you, like I'm nervous to get Messenger and have 10,000 subscribers in Messenger. I'm just being real with you because I don't know that I'll be able to ever get back to anybody. And I've actually contemplated like growing this, but then I've actually contemplated actually hiring somebody to go in and help me, message people back. Because my goal, I'll tell you right now, like my goal is to build a thriving audience. Like I want to say, hey, you know what, guys, I recommend this product to you. And everybody just trusts me. I want them to trust that when I make a response or a recommendation, they're going to trust me and go get it, because I have their best interest in mind. I'm easy to connect with. And that's really what it's all about for me. I'm about community. I love to build community. And so for me, that's a big deal. I mean, look at this. Thanks for reaching out. And it comes across as such a personal message, look at this. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I have 2 burning questions. See, so it's really, look at marketing and how to locate your ideal clients. Like we talked about earlier, determining who your target market is, just so much. This is going to continue probably all night long. So that is really where this is at. And guys, this will keep going. One of the things that you can do here is, they've got this flows here is actually used to be called content, but this is where you can save. It's like a content base. You can save any content in here that you want, keywords. Oh, one thing I didn't mention to you is there is one really cool thing that you can do this while these responses are still coming in. You can set up keywords in the automation. Like right here, keywords. So I can set up specific keywords where, if somebody responds or goes to my Messenger and they just type in a certain keyword, it will send out, free content to them. When I do a webinar, I love to use Messenger, and I do webinars on a regular basis. I love to send people over to Messenger to get that free gift because I want to get them on Messenger and continue to communicate with them. So
hey
that's
Mark,
my goal.
let me ask you a quick question right there. So let's say that using the keyword feature, You say, hey, Larry, I was thinking about doing a course on blogging or YouTube. Which would you prefer if I decided to create one? Just want your opinion.
Right.
or, hey, Larry, I have one of two things that I can give you right now for free, either a training on blogging or a training on YouTube. Which one would you want? And they say, YouTube, that keyword can like, great, since you wanted a YouTube training, here it is, kind of thing.
Exactly. It'll be able to automate the whole process. You can automate the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, it's really easy. You set up what's called a new rule here, which it opens up this. Let's just say we set that up as YouTube. We create that keyword, and we can set up here. So we create a reply, and you go in here and you put the reply to that particular keyword. And look at this. So let's just say here is your YouTube training. All right, and then you can add this little button here. And it gives you all these options. So I can send them another message, can send them to a website. You want instant calls? Add your phone number. You can add your phone number so when they click that little link or button, it'll immediately call you. Think about that. Hey, I'm taking calls right now. You want to call me? You want your phone ringing off the hook? You could do it that way if you wanted to.
Wait, Mark, can you let me ask you this about the call number. I have a conference call number that doesn't have a need for a password. Would I be able to say, hey, blah, 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 call this number for, like a group training I'm doing in the next 10 minutes?
Oh, absolutely. You just, what you do is you put this in here. Watch this. So you just say, click here to call or click here to connect. You only have so many keywords. So click here. So we'll just say click here to call. You enter in your phone number right here. So as soon as they click this, it calls them on on their cell phone if they're looking at Messenger on their cell phone, or even if they're on their computer and they have something set up to call. All they do is click it, and it just says, "Do you want to call this number?" Yes. Boom. At least that's how it is on my iPhone. So they don't even have to dial; it just takes them right into their into the number. So as far as if you're doing any type of, if you got a community or you have a group of people or team members or somebody you want to stay in contact with on a regular basis, this is a great way to do it.
This is sick, bro. Well, look, man, oh man, this is one of those trainings, man, that you can be here all night. You got me leaning in, dude, like I'm watching a freaking suspense thriller, like the first time I seen the movie Taken, man. You got me leaning in like, oh my God. Mark, man, I hate to have to cut you short, man, but we got to wrap it up. But here's the good news for everybody. Mark, if you can come back to video, I'm gonna come back to video. Unbelievable, bro. I mean, I had no idea, man.
Man.
No idea.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, wow, Mark. I'm clapping for everybody. Standing ovation for Mark. I mean, dude, that was crazy, man. That was absolutely bananas. So what I want to do to wrap up tonight's call is this. First of all, if you're watching this training live or if you're catching the replay, I want you to do something for me because I want to incentivize all of you to really get twist Mark's arm to go deeper into this stuff and really go back over some details and some training. If you're a club member with Legendary Marketer, here's my question. How would you like for this training? And I'm talking about, not Mark did an overview, but how would you like to have this type of training in our club membership back office, right? If you're interested in that, I want you to do the following. Number one, I want you to post in our group what you got out of tonight's training. And for those of you that are bold enough, I want a video. I want you to post a video in the group about what you got out of tonight's training and why you would love to have this training in the back office at Legendary Marketer. And the reason I'm saying that is this: Mark is clearly a valuable asset to our member. He's not just a member, ladies and gentlemen. Mark's training tonight, if you recognize a little bit that he dropped on you today, in the next 30, 60, 90 days, some of you can have a complete transformation in your bank account. And I'm not even saying that to hype. I'm saying if you understand what you just saw, if you understand the power behind how quickly, I mean, I just was blown away by how fast people were responding. I mean, within barely 10 or 15 seconds, you started getting responses. I mean, people are addicted to respond. Think about this, Mark, how addicted we all are to the dings and the chimes and the bings on this thing, right? People are addicted to that for no money reason. They're just, they at work talking to their spouse and their phone a ding a buzz and they're picking it right up. But now, ladies and gentlemen, because people are already programmed to be that way, that's what those people were doing. But now you can leverage that in your direction for money. My stomach is turning. I'm so excited. I mean, like my stomach is really like, I really need to get some water or something, man. I'm really like buzzing.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Like, when did I send that message here? What, 15 minutes ago?
Yeah.
I've got 50 messages right now that I got to respond.
It wasn't even 15 minutes ago. It wasn't 15 minutes ago. It was less than that. Messages. So, okay. So number one, send a message on the group and then do a video. I want to see some videos. If we can get at least 20, 25 videos, I think we can probably move Mark in that direction. But more importantly, let me say this though. We talked about the event that's coming up on February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, right here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Here's a surprise announcement. Mark Harbert has just been secured as our next or our latest speaker at this event. Now I'm gonna tilt my little computer here. I think you can see that, right? Okay. You can get tickets to this event by going to that website, which is salesandmarketingexperience.com. Now, here's a very, very important thing. Two things I want to say. Number one, Mark will be there live, and he's going to deep dive on some content.
Yeah.
What content? Well, I think it's kind of obvious what content. But Mark has more up his sleeve. This is one very, very powerful technique, but Mark has more techniques. Do you not, Mark?
Man, I love video, man. So video for me is a big one. But I mean,
there's video, there's webinars, there's what you saw tonight. Who knows what Mark is going to drop? We know for sure he's going to drop at least what you saw at a higher level at this live event. You owe it to if you love what you saw tonight, you need to be at this event because this is the kind of stuff I keep telling everybody that's cutting edge, is working right now, and people that are in the know are using this and getting crazy results. That's number one. Number two, those prices that you see on the board, as of midnight, the price is going to go up every 48 hours until the 29th of January, which is just a couple days before the event. So what does that mean? That means that I don't know anybody who likes to pay more for something than they have to. So tonight you can lock in your spot, get yourself a ticket and get your butt to St. Petersburg, Florida, February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to not only meet Mark as one of our trainers, and clearly he proved his value. If he didn't prove his value to you, well, I was going to say something really mean, but I'm not. You clearly don't get it. Let me just say it that way and be nice. But he's not the only speaker that's coming. I mean, there's a lineup of speakers that are coming that are going to blow your mind. Least of all, David Sharp himself will be in the flesh training. You're in Legendary Marketer because you trust David. Well, look at what David is doing to bring value to you right here at this webinar. Imagine what's going to happen over a 2-day period. Get to that link, salesandmarketingexperience.com. Lock in your spot tonight. Get a VIP ticket if you can get it, but at the very least, get a general admission ticket. Mark, share with everybody why you encourage them to come to this event.
Well, I can tell you this. I definitely would not, over the years, have had success in my business like I've had if it wasn't for live events. I go to events. As a matter of fact, February, I'm going to 3 live events in just February, including the sales and marketing experience. And because I believe in them, I believe in events. I believe in what they do. They've changed my business. I have had partnerships come out of events. I mean, it's just, there's something, I always say that events is where it goes from your head to your heart. And for me, that's always been what it's about. It's hard to explain until you actually go to an event. And I'll tell you right now, I am so excited beyond belief to speak at Legendary Marketer, at the sales and marketing experience. I mean, I just think it's just going to be such a great time. I'm excited about it.
Well, what's funny is that if I'm not mistaken, you were coming anyway, and then we got you as a speaker, right?
Yeah. I already made the decision. I was like, oh, I'm coming anyway. And then we chatted, and you're like, hey man, come on, speak. I'm like, awesome. Okay, cool. And I was just going to come as an attendee, I mean, really, but because I just believe in events, they make all the difference in the world. So if I what I say makes any difference, I just say go buy your ticket and get there because it'll be worth every penny.
Incredible stuff, Mark. Well, ladies and gentlemen that are members of Legendary Market, I want you to understand something. What's about to happen in your back office is going to be amazing. Now, we have this club membership that you have an opportunity to participate in. A lot of you have already gotten your club membership, but for the sake of someone who's brand new to our webinars, to our trainings, this is the type of stuff that is available in our back office right now. And as a club member, we're constantly adding new trainings on a regular basis. I mean, I have people lined up that are experts in video content, experts in blogging, experts in you name it, that are coming not only to our webinar space, but they're going to be appearing in the back office. And for your membership with Legendary Marketer, you'll have access to experts like Mark Harbert, whether it's his Facebook Messenger training or anything else he decides to bring to the table, which will be coming on top of the multiple trainings that are back there right now. Everything from Instagram to YouTube to Facebook, paid ads, you name it. We have a plethora of training for those of you who really want to take your business to the next level. So get back to the person who invited you tonight to this, and you may receive an email from us or them. If you get an email from us, just respond to it, and that person will definitely get credit for it. But we're just excited to have guys like Mark in our membership, in our system, and deciding to participate in our trainings and our live events. Trust me, in 2018, somebody is going to crack through on whatever income goal that they have, and we're going to have a chance to see their testimony live. And it's events like the one coming up February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th that's going to start the ball rolling. It's the front end of the year. February, you get the whole entire rest of the year to implement what you're going to learn and so much more. Mark, let me ask you this, man. I talk about proximity all the time, and people hear me saying when you get within eye shot of somebody, it's very different than on camera. It's very different than an audio. Can you share with everybody from your perspective, what's it like to just be in what I like to call proximity of somebody who is doing really well or successful or just an icon of the industry, just being around them? What's that intrinsic value all about?
Man, I've gone to events, and one nugget, one little thing that somebody says to me changes my whole, view of how I've done things. I mean, it's hard to put a value on what events do. I've been doing this for a long time, and I go to events every year, multiple events every year, because they're just worth it, man. I mean, the return on investment that I get from going is, it's hard to put a value on it. So the intrinsic value really is, I mean, I believe every event you go to, you're chopping 3 to 4 months off your learning curve, maybe even 6 months. I mean, really, every event, it supercharges, it speeds things up. That's really, and I don't know anybody that wants to go slow. So if you want to speed things up, get to events, get to this one specifically. I mean, this is going to be awesome.
And even when you say the nuggets, sometimes I've gotten a nugget standing at the water cooler, as they say. It's a break, and I'm off to the side, and and you've seen this happen, man. One of the speakers or trainers will be off, and then 2 or 3 people will circle around them and catch them for 10 minutes, and they'll say something that was just inspiration, that was not necessarily packaged in their talk. That somebody may have triggered an idea or a thought. And next thing you know, man, they go on for 10 minutes and they drop some $1 million idea or approach that you wouldn't have gotten had you not have. That's what I mean by proximity. People don't understand that it's not just about the stage. It's not just about that. It's about the fact that guy or girl is physically there.
Yeah.
And in our industry, most of these people are regular Joes. They're not used to having that celebrity thing. They don't walk around with entourage. They're not standoffish. Typically, they'll show up in the restaurant, the restaurant in the hotel, have a chicken wing with you if you sit there and just talk to you. You're talking about multiple 6-figure earners, multiple 7-figure earners, people that have international success and acclaim, but yet still, like me and you, show up at the local coffee shop and run into each other. Hey, what's up, man? They're just, so I just want people to understand this is not like anything else you've ever seen before in this industry. And David Sharp is just like that. If you've never met David, he is that approachable. On stage, it doesn't matter. So I don't know what else to tell you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I think that if you felt anything like I felt about Mark's training tonight, and I had no idea, I've used Messenger a little bit for marketing, and tonight was my night to really get fully acclimated. But if you feel anything like I felt tonight in terms of excitement and just potential, you owe it to yourself to be at this freaking event. I mean, I'm going to be there. David's going to be there. Mark's going to be there. All of our coaches will be there. And we have other speakers who you have no idea what they're going to crush out. So much more. The VIP day, full day of just extra special treatment. Bob, Dave's assistant, is putting together some awesome high level treatment. I mean, just you talking about red carpet treatment for the VIP members. He's putting that together. I'm at the corporate office today, and he's asking me this and that, and it's just amazing the stuff that he's doing. So man, I hope you can feel it, man. This is kind of like trying to explain Disneyland to somebody. It's like I can show you videos, I can show you pictures, I can get people to tell you about it, but God dog it, you just need to come to the park and just give Mickey Mouse a hug. So, it's just like that, man. So okay, so anyway, we're running way in the double overtime mark, so I want to give you an opportunity to close out our call tonight, man. Once again, thank you so much. But any final thoughts you have on what you covered tonight, or anything else that you want to talk about?
I mean, really, the biggest thing that I can suggest is just dig in. Just get in there, start learning it. I'm sure we'll talk more about this. No doubt about it at the event. A lot of goodies at the event. But this is just one of those strategies to start learning. It's a lot of the stuff you're going to learn in the legendary marketer back office is really going to apply to this as well. Because like I said, all the fundamentals that you learn in the back office, and I've been through a lot of it already. It's amazing. A lot of good fundamentals, but it all applies here to Messenger as well. And use it as another channel to connect with your leads, your audience. And hey, man, it's about building the business. So use it.
Well, once again, thank you, Mark Harbert, for coming out tonight to our training, man. I'm grateful for the relationship. I'm grateful for what you brought to our member base. It has been one of the best trainings we have seen, and that is no joke, bro.
Awesome.
I think I like to train, man, but tonight, dude, you know what I mean? You get the gold medal, man. I mean, this is amazing. Absolutely. The value was unprecedented, man. To do that demo at that level, man, was great. And as I told everybody, this type of stuff you normally have to pay a nice penny for. So, this is the kind of stuff that legendary marketers bring into our member base. So do yourself a favor. If you're not already a club member, jump onto our club membership program. The replay of this video will be in our back office in case you want to check it out again. So with that being said, please do yourself a favor. Go to salesandmarketingexperience.com, grab a ticket, squeeze out whatever you got to do to get to this event if it's that way for you. But don't procrastinate. This price is going up every 48 hours as of midnight tonight. It could be anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks. They didn't tell me exactly. That's just my assumption. But hey, pull the trigger. You owe it to yourself. So that being said, everybody go forth in victory. This training is a wrap. Thanks again, Mark Harbert. We're grateful for you, bro. Looking to have you back very, very soon.
Yeah.
All right.
You rock, Larry.
Y'all have a good night, everybody. Talk to you soon.